Welcome to ATB-TV today. Here we are at Sandown on a sunny day, which is a surprise for Sandown. I'm Shona Drechsler and this is
Dance.
And today you're in luck because Huey and Dewey, or Tweedledum and Tweedledee, or as Liz said before,
Dumb and Dumber,
aren't here. So you've got our beautiful faces to look at and we'll be much more knowledgeable than what those two are.
Bring a bit of class to ATB-TV this week,
Exactly.
I think, Shona.
Yeah, exactly. So first of all, we're going to talk about last week's runners, and we'll go to Swan Hill.
Yes, now you've got all the results for us, Shona.
Yes, we
I'll
did.
let you rattle through.
Although we didn't have a winner on the weekend, we had a pretty good results time. First up, we had Lonhspresso in the Topaz. How did you think she went, Liz?
She went super. Look, beaten by a horse that was obviously better. She ran a great race. No shame in running second in the Golden Topaz, and it was lovely to see that Axori still holds the race record for the Golden Topaz, which we won a few years ago.
Yeah, and she comes second. She finished off her race well. She had a little bit of a blow after the race, which was good, and onwards and upwards to Brisbane at the moment.
Yeah, so we're heading to the Tats Tiara, the second place money. It's going to fund that trip for us.
Yeah,
so all was
worked out well, and we had a few. Neville and his son Gavin were up there, and it was a really good carnival. And also on that same day, we had Ticket to Toorak. He finished midfield. He didn't race all that well. He got midfield and then come around into the straight. And Dean went for him and there was nothing in the tank. It was 1,300 metres and he just didn't last the distance. So Matthew's going to drop him back next start and he'll be racing over 1,100 metres in about 4 weeks' time. And on Saturday we headed to Swan Hill again for the second day of the carnival where we had Hippodrome. He ran a good race, he finished third, it was his first start. He jumped out of the barriers well, he headed to the front of the field. And he was beaten by two other horses, first and second, that both had 5 starts each, and being his first start, he did a really good job. He looked super, and he's due to run again about June 21st, or the day after that, either at Cranbourne or Casterton, perhaps, I think it is. So that was good, and we also had Jen Y. She raced at Swan Hill, she finished third. She was much better in her manners, she tried, and she's now going to head to Mildura on Monday. Also on the Saturday we had Lucky on Barefoot at Moonee Valley. He finished 5th. How did he go, Liz?
Yeah, so footy did okay, didn't seem to handle that firm track. Yeah, so we'll be looking for somewhere else for him the next couple of weeks and looking for some wet tracks for him to track.
Yeah, cool. Sunday I went to Cranbourne. I did a few Ks this week between Swan Hill, Cranbourne and Mornington on Monday. But we had first starter Arizona Girl by High Shap. She's 3 years old, trained by Peter Moody. She jumped out of the gates good. Couldn't cut across to the front, so Luke Nolan dragged her back in behind the field. Coming around the bend, she made up a lot of good ground and come 4th. Luke was very happy with how she came. She's going to run again in about 10 days and we'll step her up to distance over 1,600 metres. On the Monday we went to Mornington and we had Princess Hussey. This was her 8th run-in for this prep. It was a heavy ground, it was uneven and lumpy and she just didn't handle that track. So she is now gone to the paddock for a very well-earned rest. Tuesday at Warrnambool we had Strattatini and East Star race. Strattatini jumped okay but over-raced throughout. Coming into the bend, around the corner, he just had nothing and didn't appreciate the ground. East Star, she looked a treat in the yard, however with her maintenance of her knees, she definitely didn't appreciate the ground and Dean Yendall just said that she would not let down, that she was in pain. After the race, the vet trotted her up and she was lame in both legs. So it's been decided that she's going to be retired. And today, here we are at Sandown, where we've just had Bear Min race.
Very pleasing run.
Yes.
First back after 15 months off, had a chip taken out and looked a treat. Yeah,
she did look a treat and she did really well. She was second last the whole trip and coming into the straight, Ben Mallon pushed her through some traffic. She stuck her head out and managed to come third, which all our owners were very happy with. So onwards and upwards for her. And in the next race we have got Edge of War and we'll get back to you on the results on that. So here we are, we've moved inside because the PA system was driving us mad out there and the TV and boys will not shut up. So now we're going to talk about next week's coming runners, but first we're going to talk about our UK runners.
Yes, big week next week in England at Royal Ascot, and we've got 2 runners going around next week. Take Boistron, who has just gone ahead in leaps and bounds since returning to the UK. It's raining in England, which is good for him. They've had an exceptionally wet season, so...
Keep doing your rain dances. If you're doing a rain dance, keep doing one.
That's on the Thursday in the Ascot Gold Cup. Having said that, don't want it too wet for Dandino, so... Yeah.
Happy medium.
He's in the Hardwicke Stakes, which he ran second in last year, so both good chances, I think.
That's good. So finishing at Ascot, we'll now go to Randwick, where we're going to have a Basso run with Chris Waller.
Chris reported this morning that he doesn't think it's likely the horse will run. He'll make the decision on Saturday morning. He had a fairly tough run last start and thinks there's a very good race suitable for him the following Saturday, so no rush to get him back to the track, so unlikely starter.
Yeah, okay.
Benindi's nominated for Newcastle. Not sure whether that's an acceptor yet. We'll keep you posted. Watch the website for that.
Head to the runners and results page on our website, and generally before the race I'll put a comment up on how we think they're going to go, and that will give you a guide if you want to have a bet. Also, now we're on to Werribee Sunday. We're going to have El Galgo running. Again, we'll be in touch closer to the time on how we think he'll go. And then Monday at Mildura we have quite a few runners. And we've got Refill, Listo Gaetano, Grand Arrow and Gen Y. So we'll be in contact with those owners how we think they're going to go. And again, if you want to head to the runners and results page for a pre-race comment, you can check that out. Wednesday at Sandown, all going well, we'll have Chloe Anna run. Hopefully she won't sit down in the barriers this time.
Not her fault.
No, it wasn't her fault. There was a few bad barrier horses in there, so we'll be in contact with how we think she'll go as well.
Yes, well, she was favourite that day too, wasn't she?
She was favourite. She had everything going in her favour, and as usual, when that happens, there's always some sort of hiccup that can cause a drama.
So good luck to her owners, and hopefully we can redeem something out of the disaster that was the barrier scratch. Yeah. Thanks, Shona, for coming down to Sandown today.
Yeah, thanks for coming, Liz.
And I hope you enjoyed this week's edition of ATB-TV. Look forward to seeing you all soon.
Okay, signing out.
Happy punting.
Just when you thought Liz and I had signed off, I'm back. I have the camera, I'm the editing girl, so I'm going to do what I want. And I've decided to make up a new segment, and it's called One to Follow. On Sunday at Swan Hill, we had a runner called Imaging. Ridden by Brad Wawilla, he jumped away and settled midfield. Coming around the straight, Brad tried to ease him out to the outside, however Imaging had other thoughts and thought he would lay in. He ran up the bums of a few other horses and Brad managed to straighten him up, but again he wanted to lay in. Brad went for the winning posts and we were beaten for second by 0.2 lengths. So it was a good run by the horse and he's definitely one to follow. So follow Imaging, he'll be racing in the next couple of weeks.